session will be on the topic of the World Café. The World Café is an investigative method to explore so-called questions that matter. It is designed to bring people from diverse backgrounds together in a positive atmosphere. The idea is that combining all these different perspectives and views will start an inspiring dialogue. How? We will show you in a case. Hello, my name is Margot Royakkers and I'm going to interview Jeff Murray on the topic of the World Café. Jeff, you recently organized the World Café. Can you tell something about the occasion?
Yes, it was related to a project that has been initiated by the Koninklijke Horeca Nederland, an association of organizations that function in hospitality. And they have invited 6 hotel schools to participate, and their students are actually divided over 5 teams that approach 5 topics on innovation in hospitality in the Netherlands. The participants in this specific occasion were students and their coaching staff members.
So no participants from the work fields
No,
involved?
They were not available at that time.
Oh, okay, that's a pity.
It is a pity, but luckily we had a very rich setup of students, and they didn't know each other that well, which made the discussion also rich.
Okay. We're talking about the World Café. Took it place in a cafe setting, or?
Not exactly. We were invited by one of the hotel schools in Leeuwarden, and they have several meeting rooms. It took me several hours to reset it in such a way that we could use this environment as if in a very informal cafe setting, which is important.
Mm-hmm. Why is that important?
People need to feel at ease. But we had a lot of coffee and some things to eat in between, and we kind of reshuffled the setting, so it worked.
It worked?
Yeah.
Okay. So you have 5 central questions that you want to have a discussion or a dialogue on. What does it look like?
Well, per question we have set up a table. A table that can be shared with about 8 participants. And on the table we've put paper. Mm-hmm. So the whole table was covered with paper. And in the center of that table we wrote down that question that matters. Mm-hmm. That actually is the starting point of the discussion. So we had 5 questions, so we had 5 tables. Per table, 1 question. And 8 students around that table, and 1 coach, a staff member, who was actually at that moment facilitator. The facilitator stayed at the same table, but the students switched places, so they got 3 rounds, and in 3 rounds they discussed 3 of those 5 questions. Not with one group from one table to another table, mm-hmm. but they mingled. So you got a different discussion setup.
Mm-hmm. And do you have new tablecloths for each round, or do you work from what's on the table already?
Yeah, that's essential in World Café, is that the facilitator stays, and also what has been written down on the table. What you say has to be written down, what you write down has to be said, so that actually the discussion can be visualized either by drawings or by words or by models. Mm-hmm. And the next round actually reflects on what is already on the table.
Mm-hmm. So it adds up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So after several rounds you get a richer and richer discussion environment.
Mm-hmm.
As cool as being able to drink.
You make it specifically only for them, then it's special.
So it's like,
But it needs to be a really good thing, otherwise they
like
probably think like...
selling the champagne without alcohol. No, you're 18, though you can buy it like this, or?
No, like more like
Or the
culinary images.
How does it affect Dutch image? I mean, this to me sounds like something you could do in Holland.
we come here, we also, like, of course we should experience it.
But unless that's our culture.
But that's why I think it's just communication.
What she said
Like,
is
it's our
true,
culture to
then
like
it is our
that.
culture to be very intercultural, right?
Yeah, because you just said to me that you think it would be.
I think again talking about Chinese. Again doing something.
Which is normally missing out in the restaurant. It's like, okay, you go into the city for 15 more minutes and we see you back, or you have a drink already at the bar. So, okay. Yeah. So the guest journey.
Write it down.
It's always interesting that after the session is finished, you ask the facilitators to give some kind of summary of the whole discussion, because everybody has been part of only part of this discussion.
So the harvesting moment is a very essential moment.
Yes, indeed. Not just for the information that has been gathered, but also for the total group feeling like we did something important and we were part of it.
And we make going out without alcohol sociably acceptable. And I try to sum up some of the things that has been said. First of all, one of the things mentioned is, well, this is a rather big issue to come up with a solution for. So there is actually more to it than just come up with one concept that will solve the problem. So that's one of the first things to mention.
So it was a successful World Cafe session, if I'm correct. Will there be a follow-up?
World Cafe is for inspiring groups of people on a certain topic, and it could be that the understanding amongst the stakeholders, the participants, is growing, and that the next World Cafe session could also be inspiring.
Yeah, so it's all about creating a dialogue.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that is what happened.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeff, for this talk, and good luck with your own World Cafe.